Ladies and gentlemen, it's Titoclock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
See the James, and we are live, baby. We are going all the way till 6 o'clock. As per usual, it is day what? Inmates, 300 something. X, what is it? 300 what? What? 307, man. Day 307 of some kind of a quarantine, and we're all stuck in the same boat together. It's day, what, 60, 40, 50 of Shadow Ban? What is it? Who's counting, right? Anyway, I'm out of breath. Wow. I guess I got excited with the intro, so I'm a little out of breath, but just wanted to say hi. Would want to say greet everybody and try and greet a few by name because we love to do that. Who's first? I'm going to go back behind the scenes, see who was first. It looks like Quincy David Bautista was first. So hi there to you, Quincy, Jolar, or Jolari, Odette, Adalis Reyes, Evangeline Nietes, Ricky Guapito, wow, Cristel Carrion, Johnny Manuel, Maria Andrea Mendoza, Cici Abad, and a whole bunch of others. Where's Mayan? Anyone spot Mayan in the comments? No? This will probably be the first one if she doesn't show up. The first one she didn't show up to. Anyway, for all of you who showed up right now, thank you. We really, really, genuinely, thoroughly, truly appreciate you more than you know because you are part of now an elite group of people, a very, very elite group of people. Mayan's present? Oh, hi, Mayan. You are a select, very, very special group of people because you found this despite the shadow ban. So we treat you extra specially. We are going to be doubling down on prizes and stuff like that, especially as we move on into the future. We're going to be doing more and more of stuff that's going to, how do we say, I guess, reward the loyal, genuine, organic listeners of Titoclock and the page versus just getting out there what it used to be sort of, it used to just have this mass reach and stuff like that. I guess part of working with the Shadow Band is probably bring it back down to what really, really matters, like Rocket. And so in some ways it's really annoying, but in other ways it's part of the evolution, and I think we're going to become headed towards a better place in the future. So for now, why don't we kick things off with the headlines, and then we'll be back with more of Titoclock. For that, we need Chris. Chris, what's you got there?
Hey there, good afternoon, Tita James, and hello everyone. Happy Friday, and the weekend is upon us. But first, here are today's headlines. The Philippine government is extending travel restrictions on 32 countries until January 31 in an effort to curb the entry of the B117 variant of the virus causing COVID-19. The United Arab Emirates, where the Philippines' first case of the new variant traveled from prior to testing positive for COVID-19, is not included. Countries facing the travel restrictions until January 31 are as follows: United Kingdom, United States, Portugal, India, Finland, Norway, Jordan, Brazil, Denmark, Ireland, Japan, Australia, Israel, the Netherlands, Switzerland, France, Germany, Iceland, Italy, Lebanon, Singapore, Sweden, South Korea, South Africa, Canada, Spain, Austria, China, including Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Oman, Pakistan, and Jamaica. Restricted to enter the Philippines are non-Filipino travelers coming from the 32 countries. Filipinos will be allowed to enter but must undergo a strict 14-day quarantine regardless of a negative swab test result. The restriction was announced on the expiry day of the initial travel restrictions and 2 days after the health department confirmed that the more transmissible variant has entered the country. Donald Trump became the first U.S. president in history to be impeached twice when the U.S. House of Representatives voted on Wednesday to charge him with inciting last week's mob attack on Congress. Democratic Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the House demonstrated that no one is above the law not even the President of the United States. Trump is set to face a Senate trial after January 20 when Democrat Joe Biden assumes the presidency, and if convicted, he might be barred in a follow up vote from seeking the presidency again in 2024. The House passed a single article of impeachment accusing Trump of incitement of insurrection, focused on an incendiary speech he delivered a week earlier to thousands of supporters shortly before the pro Trump mob rampage through the Capitol. No U.S. president has ever been removed from office through impeachment. Impeached by the House but acquitted by Senate include Trump in 2019, Bill Clinton in 1998, and Andrew Johnson in 1868. The Philippine Eagle Foundation, or PEF, announced the passing of 28-year-old Philippine Eagle Pag-asa on January 6, 2021 at 8:03 p.m. According to PEF Executive Director Dennis Salvador, Pag-asa succumbed to infections associated with trichomoniasis and aspergillosis, which are both fatal to raptors. Pag-asa would have turned 29 today, January 15th. He was the first Philippine eagle bred and hatched in captivity using cooperative artificial insemination, or CAI techniques. He sired an offspring named Mabuhay that hatched on February 9, 2013, which was also bred and hatched through CAI. Scientists had attributed animal-borne diseases from habitat loss, deforestation, and the mingling of wildlife with humans. The organization believes the status of the Philippine eagle is inextricably linked to the environment, and the success of its propagation is very telling of the state of the Philippine forests and wildlife. Salvador said, the conservation of endangered animals and the reforestation of natural habitats can save many human generations from future health crises and pandemic. Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez will take the stage at the U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony in Washington next week. The two will perform at the January 20 event, which will also feature remarks from a Black career firefighter, Andrea Hall of Fulton Country, Georgia, and a Los Angeles native, 2017 National Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman. Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem, and Lopez will give a musical performance. The public will not be on hand to watch the swearing in at the west front of the Capitol building. In announcing the inauguration speakers, Biden's transition team cited Lady Gaga's advocacy of LGBTQ rights and health issues, and Lopez's work raising awareness about the disproportionate impact of the novel coronavirus on Latinos. Other speakers include former Georgetown University President Father Leo O'Donovan and Reverend Dr. Sylvester Beeman of Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, both close to the Biden family. And those were the headlines for today. Now it's time to take a look at the inbox. Tita James, are you ready?
I'm never ready for these things, but go on. You hit them anyway, so let's try it out. What we got there?
All right. The first one is something I saw from your Instagram. The road rage over in, I think, Tikling Junction, if I'm not
Ickling,
mistaken.
yeah, that's enough. That place is enough to give anyone road rage, though. Not that road
Mm-hmm.
rage is right, and I'm telling you guys, never an excuse. But yeah, if you're gonna lose it in Tikling. This traffic here is horrible. But okay, jokes aside, this is horrible too. This is far worse. Not much of a backstory here, except for what the person who sent it in wrote, who wants to remain anonymous, said that this
Mm-hmm.
guy banging the side of the L300 is a motorcycle rider. They're not sure what caused it, probably git-gitan, and then he actually entered the L300 at one point there. So there's two
Yes, I
videos
saw
and
that.
they're stitched together. And so yeah, Kuya was losing his mind there and reportedly yelling out, "My father is a policeman." So
Oh,
there.
another one.
Yeah,
Another one
that
with
that
the
never
father
ended well,
is a policeman.
that has never ended well. I would if remove that from your vocabulary if you're one of these a-holes that throw that around. Just know
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, there's not a situation in the Philippines where that's ended well for you. Saying my daddy is a policeman, especially when you're being videoed.
Yeah,
So there,
that's true.
that's terrible. What else you got?
Okay, up next is the drifting taxi. Uh, this one kind of made me nervous for the other cyclists.
Same. Yeah, because look how close he got to the second cyclist, huh?
Yeah, the second
He
one.
spins the car
Yeah,
around here. Oh, look how
there.
close he got
Yeah.
to that guy.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't
I got
really
so
hear it.
scared.
I don't know if the Tito Clockers can hear it because I can't. So I don't know if there's audio on the thing. But yeah, he's really screeching, drifting around. I thought at first it was like he lost it by accident, like there
Mm-hmm.
was some kind of something that we didn't see and he reacted to. But no, he started doing these donuts and stupid things like that. And I
So
think
you
he even
think
tried.
he's showing off?
Oh no, he's totally showing off. Yeah, totally, totally, totally.
Uh,
Hope they got him.
it's cool but very dangerous.
You know what, Chris? All of these vaccines, I don't know why that they should be focusing on COVID. It should be on idiots like this. I mean, some
The
people say
kamote
that there is
on the
already a
road.
vaccine for camotes, but
Mm.
it's a future vaccine. They call it a condom, so they're not quite sure. But they need something more specific and after the
Hmm.
fact. So
I
go
don't
on.
even know if everybody uses that.
That's the problem. Every time Kamote slips through, but of course, yeah, the good ones also don't get through as well. So that's not a blanket vaccine.
Hmm.
It's a bad joke. Go ahead. What else you got?
All right. Up next, this is cute. A dog passenger. Let's see it. There we
Oh,
go. Only in
I
the
think I've seen
Philippines.
this guy before.
I've seen a lot of
Unless
them, but I can't help but find them really cute.
cute and scary because yeah. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
like
I
the
guess.
idea of any
Saka this
animals
is
being on the.
highway, no?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be so judgy. We were in for some good vibes, so let's
Mhm.
just. It's not safe. Don't do that. But let's not also. Let's see if we can appreciate the cuteness of it and separate it right now because we need
Mhm.
some goodness in our lives. We need some animal kind of cheer me ups, and that's certainly one of them. But yes, do
Yes.
not try this at home. Not a good
Yes.
thing to cop. I
All
know.
right. Don't do this at home, kids.
Do
A
not.
friendly reminder
Next.
from Tito James. All right. Last up, we have Batman.
Uy.
Yes.
This is
Batman.
how old this one is. I kind of remember seeing something similar, and I don't know if it's the same guy, but you know, yeah, hats off to this guy.
I re- I
This is
remember
fun.
seeing Iron Man before. So this is
Yeah.
the first
Uh,
time I'm seeing Batman. I saw Iron Man previously. Really
and
cool.
also, I hate to keep sounding like a tito here, but I'm appreciating what I do appreciate the effort and the smiles that we're getting from it. I just hope that he's also able to see through that, those little slots he's got in his helmet.
Yeah.
As long as he can see, he or she, don't want to
Yes.
assume it's a man. We don't know.
Hmm.
That's a very heavy costume. And
Hmm.
yeah, as long as you can see clearly out of that, then I got absolutely no problem with it. Let's all be happy. Anything that brings good
Yes.
vibes these days is cool.
Hmm. Hopefully he does see properly.
Alrighty. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
all you
all we
got there
have.
for me.
Yep, that's all we have now, Tito James. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you again next one. Bye.
Alrighty. Thanks, Chris. That was Chris with the latest in headlines and, of course, what's going on around the world. So much is actually happening around the world right now. And, well, we don't have time for all of that. And usually what ends up happening is you end up getting depressed from the news. So, what we normally do to balance things out and just sort of throw in that little wild card for you is we do something that we call a Free Plug Friday. And for Free Plug Friday, it's basically our little commitment since the beginning of the pandemic to be able to share the platform with those who don't have the resources or budget to advertise their small businesses. We really try to focus this on the small businesses more than anything else because we know that these are the guys who have a little harder time sort of putting an advertising budget together. There's so many things to consider when you're starting something new. And we want to just remove one of those worries away, which is, trying to reach your target audience. And that's why we've come up with what we call Free Plug Friday. It's absolutely free, as the name suggests. And you can contact us through Instagram at Deaconitis if you have something that you would like featured on the show. And for that, we need X. X, what you got in the box there, X?
Hi, Tito James. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all the Titoclockers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, feast your eyes on the screen, Tito James. How can we start?
Coffee.
You're right. Actually, Tito James, people from Pocofino have sent us some Italian coffee.
Italian.
It's Italian with a hand. All right, Tito James, they sent over their premium coffee beans together with a mocha pot and some pods. Have you ever used a mocha pot, Tito James?
Nah, I can't say I have.
Pretty awesome. I mean, very interesting.
It's hardcore. Huh? This is getting back to basics.
Very much.
This is really, I would imagine, they're selling you the whole coffee experience.
Very much.
Not necessarily just the beans, but the there's a process, and some people find calmness in the process. It's not just the actual end result, but the actual
the process.
Yes.
It's like
coffee
a therapy.
making can be very therapeutic.
Yes, exactly. So guys, hope you can check them out. They also have other types of sets available. Again, Pocofino on Facebook and Instagram. Next, Tito James, we go to a business that literally spreads goodness through her homemade spread.
Oh, I see what you did
yes,
there.
it's pretty good, Tito James. I'm learning from you.
That's a tita joke.
Take it easy, Tito James.
I knew I'd rub off eventually.
That's going to be the first and the last for now. All right, guys. Saucery by Camille Marie offers creamy spinach and artichoke as well as cheese pimiento spreads, which can be enjoyed with your... What did you eat yours with, Tito James?
The crackers and the CC's.
CC's and nachos.
Yeah, CC's are like they're from Australia. I remember seeing them go, oh my god, I haven't seen these for so long. And as soon as I dipped into it, I was like, what kind of sorcery is this?
Yeah. Right. What a comeback, Tito James. Now you're back in the game. All right, guys. Before we go further on the Tito jokes, price starts at 230 pesos for the cheesy pimiento and 250 pesos for the creamy spinach. Again, Saucery by Camille Marie on Facebook and Instagram. All right, next we go to Babaylan PH. Tito James, remember when someone sent over these hand-poured scented soy candles?
Of course, yeah, I still use them.
So that Babaylan.ph offers soy candles, wax tablets, wax melts.
Same group. Wow. Is that what they said? Like it doesn't look like it has a wick. But
no, it's like wooden wick.
I was wondering what that is. No, one of them you hang or you actually put into one of those
burners.
Burners, yeah. Okay, no wonder. So it's a bit different.
It's a wax melt. It's like
wax melt.
Wax melt, Tito James. So I believe they sent over their Christmas scented candles or scents like the Cinta, Noche Buena, Pasko na, Cinta Ho, you know what that means, Tito James, and even lavender scent. Which one did you like among these, Tito James?
Oh, wow. I'm still going through all of them because you can't really, it's not fair to say which one do you like because all of them have different moods. So it really depends on what mood you're either in or want to be in.
Good point, Tito James. Apart from the soy candles, they also sent in some of their beard oil, pomade, and some balm because they also have a brand called Thick and Flirty. Tito James, well, I hope you can try the beard oil. Not sure
I tried the pomade already. Yeah.
And how did you like it though?
It's a little salty,
for the hair.
Okay.
Okay, that was awkward. All right, guys, I'm gonna take it from here. Price starts at 200.
Put in the food basket.
Tito James. I should have given a warning. Next time we'll ask him to write it down more clearly. All right, guys. Price starts at 250 pesos for the classic and 300 pesos for the limited edition scent. Again, Babaylan PH on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to SKJN Collagen Japan. So these guys offer collagen micro tablets that supposedly promote healthy, younger, glowing skin in as early, as 2 days.
Well, if you feel that you're aging unnecessarily rapidly, who are you going to call? Collagen.
That's another Tito joke right there. All right, guys. The suggestion is actually to take 6 to 10 micro tabs, but as you can see on the label itself, it says there to take 10 micro tablets per day. That's kind of a lot, don't
It's
you
a
think?
lot. Why don't you just take one big one?
I don't know.
But,
It's like, I guess it's because that's why it's called micro tablets. But
Microdosing on collagen.
But
Make it a thing.
yeah, but for now, we don't have enough. We haven't tried it enough days for us to say that how it works on us. But we look forward to seeing the benefits that everyone else is talking about.
And also collagen in itself has been proven to be
That's
very
true.
helpful for skin.
For skin, yes.
We haven't gone through the process with this particular one, but collagen is well recognized for its benefits.
That's true. Guys, hope you can check them out. SKJN Collagen Japan on Facebook and Instagram. All right, guys, next we go to Clean Back. So Clean Back is actually a disinfectant machine and solution that's said to eliminate 99.9.
Why can't they get rid of that last point one?
I don't know, it keeps flying away, keeps escaping.
It's a
God knows
slippery
one.
that
It's a
last
slippery
point
one, yeah. Kills 99.9% of bacteria and harmful viruses. And it's not just good for disinfecting homes, but offices and even your vehicles as well. And the good thing about it is, Tito James, is it's safe for humans and even pets. Okay, guys, also the good thing about this is I know this is there. Apart from the switch, there's even like a remote control that you can use. So you can really control it remotely. It's pretty cool, right?
Of course.
Guys, price is 7,000 pesos for one disinfectant machine. But we have good news, Tito Clockers.
But wait, there's more.
Tito James, break it to them. All right.
Well, for the callers that call in right now. Oh, wait, this isn't the All right, here we go.
Sorry,
Ladies and gentlemen, folks, listen up.
Let's go.
This is your opportunity. We are giving away one of these machines, right?
One.
One machine. Now, this
With
machine
two.
with two supplies of the chemicals that are needed.
Yeah, the solution. Yeah.
Not the solution there. We've got the solution as well. Just
Wow.
the
That
solution
was
to
fast,
your
Tito
problem.
James.
There you go. Now, here's something you didn't know about it. It does do its disinfecting. It does the 99.1 whatever thing. But what people don't know makes a hell of a thing for TikTok videos. You have that smoke machine come out. You do your dance.
Oh,
move.
yeah.
Oh, no. You heard it here first.
Oh,
Okay, that's
smart.
patented here. Hashtag Titoclock if you ever use that
Hashtag Titoclock. Remember that, guys.
on your page.
All right, guys, just leave a comment in the comment section and we'll draw it right before we end the show tonight. All right, well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Plug Friday. Stay safe and always sanitize, Tito Clockers. This is X. Peace out. Happy weekend. Bye. Woo-hoo!
Oh, you gotta love Free Plug Friday, everybody! I know. I was just getting grooved down to the music. It's very groovy. Yep, that was Free Plug Friday for everybody. Hope you got something good out of that. Now, I'm going to do something while we're whatchamacallit here. I'm going to try something for the first time we've ever done this on Titoclock. We're going to welcome in a new audience, okay? Because a lot of the regulars here know the dramas that we're going through with Facebook at the moment. And so they strangle the reach down. They don't want to be, they want to control that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on TikTok as well. And I'm going to do my very first live video on TikTok. And it just asked me, you have to be over 18 to go live on TikTok. How cool is that? Did you hear my voice come back at me? So maybe we can't go live. Oh no. Anyway, it was worth it. Worth it to try. So, guess that's not gonna happen. I guess Facebook also worked their way into that. Maybe they were like, "Nah, we know your plan, Tito James. That's not gonna happen. We can't let you. We got to control the world." So, sorry about that. It was a good idea while it lasted, but yeah, we got some feedback for some strange reason or another, even though it's a completely different platform. And I thought we could stream simultaneously at the same time just to say hi to all the new followers there on TikTok. TikTok is actually an amazing platform. I don't know if you guys have been playing around with it. I'm sure you have, and I'm sure I'm sounding like that Tito that just figured it out and now is just obsessed with it and thinks that, he's the only one that's figured it out. But I've been having a lot of fun with it because It's for me like I think somebody described this one of the last happy places left on the internet, and I can certainly agree. It's a lot of fun to play around with. Anyway, we'll see if we can work something out next week for that. But for now, let's just focus on, well, we still have some prizes to give away. As Free Plug Friday, we mentioned on Free Plug Friday, we've got that 7,000 peso machine to give away. Now, this is so cool because, I used to have this done with my car regularly, like once every month, or well, sometimes you'd forget, but it was always great to just give it a blast, go through your air conditioning equipment, all the vents and stuff like that, kill the bacteria, and it just smells really great after. Same with the studio, you got these sort of thick curtains over here. Where's the thick curtains? Just picture their thick curtains there. They're all right. They're thick curtains and stuff, the smells that get into it. So this one really seeps into it and really helps out with that. So we'll be drawing that out a little bit later as well with these Titoclock aged shirts. I should have also mentioned that these are Uniqlo shirts. So they're not just, we didn't grab the first supplier of, like generic shirts. We got the Uniqlo ones. These ones are the oversized, I don't know if they're officially called like an aged shirt, but they feel like it's like a real, your favorite shirt that you wear in the house. It's like when you buy this brand new, it's like that already. And it just feels great to wear. So we're giving away 3 of these as well later on in the show. A couple of things before that. I just wanted to share, I guess, one of these things that I've been following recently. And I think a lot of people might have been doing the same. Elon Musk has just made the world's richest man's list, right? So he's just surpassed Jeff Bezos this year for becoming the wealthiest man in the world. And although that comes as a surprise to very, very few people out there, I think what we can learn from it is where we're headed as a species, as a planet, as basically, as a species and as a planet, because Elon has been one of probably the greatest forward thinkers of our time. And although he's far from perfect, he has managed to deliver on some incredible promises that we could not even fathom before he brought them up. He's not as gifted as, let's say, even to a certain degree, Steve Jobs in communication. Now, Steve Jobs was not necessarily known as the greatest communicator, but he had that charisma. He had that following. Now, Elon, he's just a super smart guy. Can you imagine if this guy had, let's say, the communication skills of Tony Robbins or anyone like that? Oh, wow. I guarantee you he'd be the leader of the world by now. Anyway, what I wanted to share about Elon Musk, which I find particularly interesting, are his predictions for 2021. So this is coming from, in my opinion, the world's smartest man, a man who we don't even believe is human. We all are convinced that most people really believe that he's he's an alien or some sort. He just knows too much, right? And I was following his predictions for this year, and knowing that he's already come good on all his other predictions, this one really blew me away. I think the first thing that he said was 2021 will be the year of the autonomous taxi in the United States. Now, a lot of car makers are looking at sort of 2025 and beyond, right? This is part of their plan. Now, everybody's got different timelines for this, but I think safe to say 2025, you'll probably see the first robot taxis out there. But he's saying, no, it's 2021. Now, what he's basing that on is he has managed to, Tesla's stocks have improved. I think they're over 1,500%. They're probably around 2,000% now. It's just staggering, the growth that Tesla's had. And he predicted that they would sell 1 million cars last year. They did. Now he's predicting they will sell 20 million cars by 2027. They seem to be on track for that. But what's magical about this and his idea for the Tesla's autopilot is that it's going to revolutionize ownership, the way we think about it. So it's going to disrupt car ownership in a way that we've never seen done before, because it will literally turn your car from a liability into a income generating asset. Think about this for a while, because what he's proposing is his Teslas already have the technology, and it's just awaiting on legislation to support it, which he predicts will happen this year, where the autopilot is already proven to be safer than humans, right? But obviously, just like a vaccine and anything that you're going to introduce into society like that, you need more than that. You need fail safes, right? So he's predicting that all of this will be legislated already in certain states in the US by this year. If he does this, what it will do is completely turn on its head car ownership, because when it turns your car into an income generating asset, and everyone who has access to, let's say, the car is worth about $30,000 now, right, for a Tesla 3. He is saying that if you're an Uber driver, you could earn $30,000 a month simply by owning if this program comes in, and you don't have to drive. So that is $30,000 a year, pays off your car in, well, almost a year, because you'd have to put, well, I was going to say you'd have to cover gas, but there's no gas in Teslas, right? So can you see how this will disrupt car ownership and make Uber obsolete? Because he's predicting that it'll drop from $2 to $3 a mile, which is the current charges for our current costs for ride sharing. He's bringing that down to 18 cents a mile. 18 cents a mile, from $2 to $3. You can already smell disruption right there. In fact, if he is even half right, and that's 36 cents a mile, you can see that it's inevitable. No matter what he says or anyone says, that's a disruption just waiting to happen. Legislation will take time, of course, but at this momentum, at this tipping point in our current situation, it's going to probably happen 2021. And if I'm going to be wrong, I'd rather back the smartest man in the world and say I was wrong, backing the smartest man in the world, rather than the other way around. Another thing that this will do is if this plan continues, then that means Teslas will become significantly cheaper. Because remember, yes, it is, Ian, very efficient business, because the cost of Teslas now are already, they passed the part where they need the subsidies already. So this is already one big hurdle that they managed to overcome. So you can get, as I said earlier, a Tesla 3 for $30,000. And now that can be an unsubsidized cost already. Once you bring the economies of scale into this, he's predicting that the prices will drop even further. Now, not just of the car, but because he also has a large stake and is driving the energy industry, the power that powers the car, which is the battery technology, will drop significantly. And that, unlike steel and other resources that you use to make a car, has so much room to drop that he's predicting, should I say, that energy will become an income instead of an expense. I know this is all crazy stuff, but yes, solar powered, I'll get into that, Mark, because glad you brought it up. It's a great topic, because he's also predicting that solar will be shining, no pun intended. 2021 is the year where solar will finally shine. Because again, tipping points have been crossed, right? Once you hit a tipping point where the cost of it versus the production of it is now less than traditional electricity, and it's easier to get to, you're just going to see a massive run. And again, you have to look at the room for growth and the room for improvement. When you are, let's say, improving a business like Amazon, who already have 25-30% of the shopping market in the US, the room for improvement there is what? Another 70% or 60-something% of that's it. Whereas Tesla, if they're selling 1 million cars a year, how much more growth is there when we have 2 billion cars to replace? Mind goes crazy, doesn't it? Now, linking this with his energy business, which is solar, and the disruption he's doing in that, it now powers his full plan, which is the way to link up the Teslas into this virtual grid and create your own power company. This has been the master plan. I mean, I'm probably not explaining it anywhere near as well as he would or anyone else that's more studied in this, but this is a layman's interpretation of what his predictions are. And when you have this situation where you can disrupt the technology and bring the costs down, and then your solar power goes into the Tesla walls, and the Tesla walls are in your house and store the charge, which he's able to bring these you see, solar power will explode. Thanks, X. Houses will have these, and unlike solar power previously, where it's kind of inefficient and the costs to generate the power was more than actually buying it, now that tipping point's crossed, you can now get your own power, store it in your wall, which they call the Tesla power walls, And there you can sell your energy back to the grid, and it's all done seamlessly because you're literally generating your own, putting it back into the grid. You only pay for what you need. And if you make more electricity than you use, which a lot of people do, a lot of people use more than they make, but a lot of people make more than they use, you can sell it back, and then you can actually earn money from your energy. Now, just think about if we break these two industries alone, the power industry and the transportation industry. This is one guy breaking two industries, and not just that, he hasn't finished. He's breaking the internet industry as well. He is now disrupting internet access for everybody because he predicts in 2021 that his next prediction will be satellite internet across America for everybody. America first, and then it will eventually translate. And how he plans to do this is because with his company SpaceX, I know it's mind-boggling to think that the same guy is disrupting transportation, energy, and internet as well. Plus, he's creating interplanetary travel and colonizing space. I know it's a lot to absorb, but try and stick with me here because it really is. If you get in ground early here, if you get in on the ground early, which many will say we're already way too late, but if this is the first time you're hearing of this, there's a lot to get excited about because it's literally pushing us in a different direction. So when you talk about SpaceX and setting up satellites, Elon Musk has launched already during lockdown, right? While we were all watching Netflix and all that, or doing whatever we were doing in lockdown, he launched over 1,000 satellites. Now, 1,000 satellites, considering that that's just in lockdown. Do you know how many satellites there are in the history of the human recorded history? How many satellites there are up there? There's about 10,000. And he did like 1,000 last year, and he's got a license now for 12,000. 12,000 satellites. That's more than the amount of all the satellites ever sent up in human history, a license given to Elon Musk. And you know he knows what to do with that. So he's going to be spreading the satellites around, and internet access will be disrupted for everybody. And what is important about that is not necessarily the speeds. The speeds are looking at about 50 to 150 Mbps is what they're looking at for internet satellite internet. That's good, but it's not as it's not like a terabyte or anything outstandingly disruptive like that. But the thing is, it gets to areas that would never get these, and it brings it down to a cost that is very, very reasonable. What are we reading here? Musk plans to continue 12,000 satellites in orbit. Can you scroll back down? I saw a price there, X, something about $99 or something like that. What were they talking about there? Starlink will cost $99 a month on top of an annual $499. Okay, see, there you go, $99 a month. And the initial cost of $499, which that's going to go down every year, and every month that goes out, it's going to go down. But yes, he is the real Tony Stark, Blair. I cannot gush enough about this guy. So when he launches that and those services, you imagine far-flung places like in Africa, Asia, a lot of these developing nations. We don't know anywhere near the potential that these people have in those nations. Why? Because we've kept them hungry, we've kept them ignorant, we've kept them out of the loop, we basically excluded them by design. Now, a lot of people say that's a bit harsh to James. Well, is it really? Because we've had how many centuries to solve global hunger or all of these other power problems and everything, and yet here's one guy in his own one lifetime, not even a full lifetime, but like a adult lifetime, churning out things like PayPal, Tesla, I don't even know where to begin, SpaceX, Neuralink, all of these companies. And yet the collective power of the world and their greatest resource couldn't solve world hunger and education for people? No, I don't believe that. I really don't. I think that there are incentives and agendas here that are being met before the basic human needs are being met. And that's why somebody like Elon Musk is important to have in the world because, well, he's now setting his sights against social media. He's setting his sights against energy, all of these places that he sees that the human greed has really seeped into because they're transferring the power to a very few rather than what it should be, which is to give back to the world. This is why if you're going to support anyone, support this guy. This is certainly not a paid advertisement because if I was close enough to Elon Musk to get a paid advertisement, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I'm just very, very excited because I've been following this guy for a long time, and I'm getting very disheartened with some of the things I'm seeing around the world right now. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same when you read the news, watch the news, check out social media and stuff. You just see it's just a cacophony of ugh, it's noise. It's just, and people just competing for all the wrong reasons. And then so you get a guy like this who's coming in saying, you know what, we have to invest back in humanity. And humanity, in his opinion, which I'm still yet to understand because I think it's a little far-fetched for my mind to grasp, but I'm very open-minded. He's not the first person to say that we need to start colonizing space if we are going to survive as a species, simply because we are raping our resources here, and we will need interplanetary travel soon. Okay, he knows more than I do. I can't really comment much about that, but I'm excited to see what he does with it. But even just the other ones that I just sent to you about, or just explained to you about, the energy, the transportation, the internet, wow, that's already enough for a decade of complete, utter, total disruption. So it gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? I mean, there's so much there to absorb, so much to digest. Where is this going to take us? What do you do as a person right now, whether you're stuck in a career, whether you're studying? I mean, it just helps you to understand how these transitions will be affecting us. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. That's pretty much it. Now, humans will implant, what's this? Microchips into their brain to help cure illness. This is Neuralink. Yeah, this is Neuralink. Okay. This is very interesting as well, because I haven't gotten as into this, but keep it up there, X, because this whole thing is just amazing, because these neurotransmitters that he's using, the technology is already there. If we could just detect early certain diseases, which we already know the markers for, then we could prevent them. But the thing is, people don't get checked out until it's too late. So when you have these Neuralinks inside that can monitor everything inside you, this one scares me a little bit. I'll be honest. It's not. I see the potential of it, but I also fear the the evil of man coming in here and hacking the system. So this worries me a bit. But the idea is sound. So his idea is that we keep the Neuralinks inside, and we have basically this technology that is able to use these electronic neurotransmitters that are going to be embedded in the inner layer of the skull. These transmitters or links will help send and receive electrical signals from the brain. And this, aside from helping dementia and possibly curing things like even blindness, this is all part of also his plan to how do you even say it? The symbiosis between you and your phone, right? This is where another leap in mankind will happen, because at the moment we are already cyborgs. If you think about it, the only difference is I hold my phone externally, right? So if this was somehow connected to me without me actually physically typing, and I'm able to which we do now in a way, right? I can talk to it. It has its voice assistant, and I can talk to it. If you just remove the physical me holding the phone and me just talking to my phone, whether it's an earpiece or whatever, all of a sudden, I know the capital of Turkey. I know the GDP of Bangladesh. Information I would have never had, but I can do it. I'm a super smart human now, because I have access to. I've just integrated with my phone. So it's still Google and outsourcing the information, but without physically holding. Now that's where this technology is headed. So if you could just think and your phone does it, you can think and you go connected to Google and the cloud, and you can do a search. You are already a cyborg. Kind of makes it scary to understand. So that's probably too much to digest. I'm going to leave it there, because I think there's probably a few people going, oh, James, it's too much. It's too scary. As long as we support the right people, that's all we can do, I've also stopped sort of believing in companies. Rather, I believe more in people, visionaries, people who will make this planet a better place and not just more profit for themselves. Um, what will happen to creativity? Beth, good question. Here we go. You mentioned that what will happen to creativity? There's no guarantee, right? But here's the theory. The idea, Beth, is that it will allow humans to focus on their creativity. This is the plan. Now, whether it happens this way, obviously, that's where the dilemma is, right? In the wrong hands, this will swipe creativity. But if done properly, the theory is that it will increase creativity because your mundane tasks are taken care of through Neuralink, and you can now allocate these resources into doing things that your brain really wants to do. Another thing is if you can solve humans' immediate problems like energy, independence, and food, just guarantee their food supplies, etc., then they don't have to worry about their 3 square meals a day or just basically feeding themselves to stay alive or drink water, have clean water, or all this. Then you can allocate all those other resources you normally would use to collecting your water and feeding yourself and making sure that you could stay alive. You could now use that in creativity. That's the plan. Whether it happens, we wait and see. Somebody said about 5G. Yes, yes, it's true. Australia's already linked up with Elon Musk's company for what's that? His company for the whatchamacallit, for 5G. He's working with Australia for that, and I think also the UK. True, support the right people because we're now headed into an era now where you see you've got companies like Amazon and stuff which are growing also at a very rapid rate, and yeah, they're good for business, but are they good for humanity? I beg to differ. I actually argue the opposite, because as much as it's efficient and we need it, you're also displacing a lot of humans in ways that in such a short time. I mean, this is where you see a lot of unrest now in America that people don't understand. And it's easy to sit here on the other side of the pond and in the mangroves over here and go, the US is this, the US is that, they're all crazy, they've lost the plot, they're storming the Capitol. And, of course, there's no excuse for storming the Capitol. I don't want to get political here, but it's an exercise in, I think, what humanity and what prioritizing humanity. When you disenfranchise those people, especially the ones in the Midwest, the ones that are being targeted as the Trump supporters that stormed the Capitol, violence is the language of the unheard. When you disenfranchise these people, a lot of them are like, let's say, truck drivers and retail workers. Those are the number 1 and 2 jobs in America, right? Or used to be. Truck driving and retail. Both of those, retail first, has been, wiped out, right? They're just closing stores left, right, and center, and malls. Why? Because Amazon has taken 25% of the market and is growing every day at an exponential rate. So you are disenfranchising these people, and you are putting them back into the world without any purpose, self-worth, and they're hungry and angry. So here comes a man, no matter how ridiculous it may seem to you and I or anyone else, promising them to make America great again. That's all they need to hear. So I'm not trying to make any justifications or get political, but that's why people are reacting the way they're reacting over there. Violence is the language of the unheard. Not to justify it, but if you understand that, you'll want to dig deeper and understand what is driving the problem. It's not just racism. It's a very complex problem. And a lot has to do with the fact that these people have been displaced, and these people have now got no purpose. They have no education or limited education, because that's precisely why they entered into, if you just look at the stereotype, that's why they entered retail or truck driving to begin with, because they didn't have the educational levels to get to other jobs. And now at 45 years old, being the rough average age now of those people who are disenfranchised, they are now told to either learn a new skill, go and code, learn how to do stuff like that. So of course they're out there in the Capitol. Again, not a justification, but this is what's driving the behavior and the desperation. Mind-blowing? Thanks, love, I think. All right. Where's this? What else we got here? Because we only got a few more minutes, X. So we got to do our raffle, because we got the raffle of the, what's that My headphones got caught up. Sorry. I'm kind of tangled up in my own microphone here. And of course, we got 3 Titoclock shirts to give away. Technology can be very exciting, can be very scary. That's why support the person and not necessarily the company, because everything that moves like that, companies, as one guy explained to me before, we live in such changing times that no new company can have a business model that you can guarantee can be sustained. You need a human being that's going to continuously tweak that and pivot that, because it's just changing. Our needs are changing. The world is changing. So you need a human being that understands it. This is why it's important to support the right people, not necessarily the right company. Locally, you look at people like Ramon Ang, let's say, and you see that it's not, San Miguel, they're beer, but now it's roads and airports and this and that. And I think a lot of the people will get behind Ramon Ang because it's him, because it's the person they identify with. They think this man understands and stuff like that. I'm not campaigning for the guy, even though he's my boss. I'm just saying that this is the way that I think people will be going, and it's the way I want to go. I will now look at people and see how I can support them and their endeavors and stuff, because the world is getting very complicated very fast. People are all, we place so much value on winning that becomes the score. That's why you call people like Jeff Bezos the richest man in the world. But really, how's it changing humanity? So I'm glad that the richest person in the world happens to be somebody that I believe in, because you need money to get things done. Sadly, that's another thing that we have to wake up to, is that, you can be noble, you could be this, you could be that, but this world still needs money to get things done. And if you want to push your agenda into the world, which everybody's doing, every single person, to just it's the extent that varies, that's it. But from the most powerful person to the lowliest person, we're all pushing our own viewpoint and agenda into the world. When you have more money, you get to push that agenda further. So remember that, because you want to make sure that the people who have the money are pushing the right agenda. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. Why are you still looking? I got nothing else. Come on, X. Let's do the raffle time. I will just get my music. Yeah, I need Rocket. Yeah. Rocket. Hang on. Jeez. But I've got my Batman shorts. Talk to them, Rocket. Okay, Rocket Ship. Almost did the raffle without you. Can you imagine how dramatic that would have been? Are you ready, Rocket? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Rocket, where are you? He's right here, Myrna. Rocket, the raffle doggy. Come on, get the shirt, Rocket. Why are you so serious, Rocket? Thank you, Bridgestone. Rocket, thank you. Can you thank Bridgestone for us? Look at the camera, Rocket. Okay, that's the light. I will up, huh? Okay. Oh, one more. Look at the camera. Ka-chapang. Rocket, you're so serious today. Good things in the wind, Rocket. Thank you, Bridgestone Philippines, for all your support. Not possible without you. Here's some Titoclock North. Congratulations, Roland Bondok. So I'm guessing the fourth one is the okay. Not to be confused with the cinnamon. There's my gem there. That was a keeping joke. Earl Ryan Balagot is the clean back machine. And the rest of you guys, you won the merch. So thank you, Rocket, for doing the honors. And thank you for sharing your excitement with everybody. Is there anything you'd like to add? Yeah, no, maybe, yes. I think Rocket's just obsessed looking at himself over here. He's just like, look at that. He's like, okay, I. He's had a hard week, It's not easy being him. He's got all these fans to deal with. He lives in his little bubble. The other day, he saw some cats when he was walking across to the mall. There's some cats that live in the area, and they're they're stray cats, and they're fed by, I guess, some of the residents. And he walked up, and I could see him like asking the cats for their Instagram accounts and stuff like all cats should have, or all. It's like, what do you mean you don't have an Instagram account? What? I don't. How do you? I don't get it. Rocket lives in his bubble, but that's okay. Say bye to Rocket. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys. All right. So till next week, guys, thanks for joining us. It's 6:00. Rocket and I and X behind me and Y there behind the scenes as well. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk a while. Let's stop and talk a while.